Welcome to our September World of Equine News. I'm your host, Wayne Williams of Speaking of Horses. You know, double Olympic gold medalist Charlotte Desjardins and Vallegro compete at the Rolex Central Park Horse Show September 25th and 26th. Now, Charlotte will be competing. She's the most celebrated dressage rider in history and will be celebrating with many of the same. With her world-famous mount Vallegro, they'll perform at the 2015 Rolex Central Park Horse Show September 25 and 26. The world's #1 rated rider over the last 24 months, reigning European and world champion, as well as the 2015 Rheem ACRA FEI World Cup finalist winner. Desjardins and Vallegro will be making a rare appearance here in the U.S. for their fans. You can catch Desjardins and Vallegro on Friday, September 25th in the U.S. Open Dressage Grand Prix at 1:30, and on Saturday, September 26th in the U.S. Open $75,000 Dressage Freestyle presented by Axel Johnson Group. 7 p.m. You'll want to see them, see if you can beat the world record scores that they've already set in the Grand Prix and the Freestyle. You know, we're excited and fortunate to be working with Charlotte, Carl, and Vallegro at the inaugural U.S. Open Dressage event. They're truly one of the great combinations in dressage history, commented Mark Bellissimo, CEO of the International Equestrian Group. Well, changing gears, you know, we were recently at the Festival of the Horse and Drum in St. Charles, Illinois. We caught up there with Australian centered riding expert Colleen Kelly. Here's our interview with Colleen Kelly. Hey, speaking of horses, and we are at the Festival of the Horse and Drum in St. Charles, Illinois, and really happy to be sitting here next to an old friend. Well, I'm going to take the word old out. Colleen Kelly is with me, and good to see you here.
Oh, it's great to be here, Wayne, and it's a beautiful part of America, so I'm absolutely honoured. And what a festival. It's amazing. There's so many different things to see here. It's not just your normal trade show, not just a normal show, and the performances of the show last night, the gala, and the beautiful Spanish horses, Lusitanos, Frisians, and all the Western horses, English horses, dressage, and just amazing festival.
Well, it is. It captures, you know, the Spanish influence. It captures some of the Western. The Timmerman's drill team is fantastic. It also captures a lot of the Native American spirit and those things. So there's a tremendous amount of stuff here, and the shopping, and you can see the horses. You can be entertained, and it's just, you know, St. Charles is a historic area here west of Chicago. So tell us what you've been up to.
Well, since I saw you last, I've been absolutely flat out. I've been all over the world. I've been to Royal Dublin Show and went out to London to the Metropolitan Mounted Police and worked with their team, and they were wonderful reception there and got a beautiful award, and from them, they're lovely. And been back to Australia, done a couple of clinics. We've got clinics coming up in Australia, but we're focusing mostly now on teacher training. I don't do too many actual clinics of teaching riders anymore, just too busy these days, but the teacher training for the International Society of Rider Biomechanics. We now have an amazing symposium in Kentucky every year that's co-hosted by the University of Kentucky, Asbury University, Midway College, and the Kentucky Horse Park, which is just the most amazing venue that anybody could ever see, and Black Pearl Farm, which is my own farm. And we have amazing speakers from all over the world, and our keynote speaker is Luis Lucio, who's coming out from Spain, head of the Dressage Federation and member of the FEI board, and two-time Olympian, and an amazing, lovely gentleman, very soft and kind with the horses. And so the symposium is a huge focus of what we're doing these days, but we're doing teacher training clinics all over the world, and really thrilled that the South African Pony Club have recently contacted me to take the Society's Kids Safe program to every single pony club in South Africa. So I'm thrilled about that. And the Kids Safe program is all about teaching children just that little bit differently from adults and a little bit safer. So, yeah. Thrilled, busy.
Well, very busy. And you know, it's funny how you watch this industry evolve. And like, I've known you for several years and watch, you know, when you first started coming over from Australia, and how the thing has evolved and progressed. It's an amazing story.
I know, it really is, and it's been, you know, quite a few bumps in the road, as you know, and arriving over here and putting all my pennies to come to America. I always wanted to be here, you know, and I had a little table at Horse World Expo and Equine Extravaganza, a little tiny table, and that's it, maybe a little handmade sign or something like this, you know, which I smile about now. And of course, then in 2010, I was asked to speak at the World Equestrian Games and did 17 presentations there, which was just such an honour and such a thrill. There's so many Aussies there, Guy McLean and the Double Dans and the guys, and there's just, and Emily Ferran, a famous vaulter from Australia, trick rider. And so the little Aussie contingent was having a lot of fun there, and I loved it so much. I just bought a farm in Lexington, Kentucky not long after, but then of course got breast cancer, had to go back to Australia to get that all sorted, and now being cancer free, I'm back and I'm working harder than ever.
Well, we're certainly glad, number one, that you're healthy again, and you're out here and doing all these things, and that's tremendous. So, and that symposium that'll be now, when is that going to be this fall?
It's in October. Starts on the 15th of October, and it goes for onto the 25th of October. And we have level 1 and level 2 teacher training. But we also have a Luis Lucio clinic, and you can come watch that, and we'll ride in that too. And then we also have on the 19th of October, we have an open day at Black Pearl Farm, which goes all day long and into the night. It's a ride to music night that night, and it's a fundraiser for Paris Vaulting that night. And then we have the Gala Awards night on the October the 24th, and at the Clarion Hotel, and it's a fundraiser for the society itself, and specifically the Deanne McRae Foundation that funds a lot of scholarships, especially for police and pony clubs.
And then, just a week after that, the Breeders' Cup will be in Keeneland.
I know, Keeneland. It's just such an exciting time of year because Kentucky, I mean, you would know, and I know, but back in Australia, they wouldn't have a clue that Kentucky shuts down in winter. I mean, that sense closed, right? November, it's under snow and nobody wants to do anything. And so Keeneland only has a couple of races a year, and a couple of sales a year, and so does, you know, like Louisville, the Kentucky Derby is one of them. But you know, it's just amazing that it's so few races there. So when we do have races there, then they're a big deal.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. Kentucky, when they threat of snow or ice, they just close down. Yeah, well, living in Wisconsin, we're kind of looking at them like, what?
What's
you know? But you know, it is it's an amazing place to be, and that symposium sounds like it is quite a deal to attend.
Yeah, it really is. You know, we've got incredible speakers representing nearly all of the major sports, and Professor Camargo from the University of Kentucky is speaking. Dr. Karen Hanks, and as I said, Luis Lucio, myself, Kelly Sigler, who rode Rolex and Horse of the Year, Eventer of the Year, and we have chiropractor lady, a gentleman, I beg your pardon, and an amazing muscle lady, Priscilla Roberts from Tennessee. She's just takes a completely new look on how muscles actually work, and so and anyone can come, you know, and juniors come, and we offer a 2-for-1 because of the juniors wanting to come, because they can drag mum along or dad along, and dad can go and play golf or something, you know, and or if they're both riders, they can both, you know, one can come for free. So some great discounts, and we've got those great scholarships too, that anybody can apply for the scholarships, and we have to attend completely for free. So we have individual scholarships, but we also have group scholarships and a special police scholarship as well. So any police mounted unit or sheriff's mounted unit or anything like that can apply for that scholarship to come and attend for free.
Wow. Well, and everybody at St. Charles is happy to be here watching you because you're here, and I'm sure you're going to be doing more expos as well. So, Colleen, thanks for taking a moment.
You're welcome. It's wonderful to see you again, Wayne. It's great.
All right. We got more coming. We're in St. Charles, Illinois, Festival of the Horse and Drum. Stay with us right here on Speaking of Horses. Hey, we'll be right back. After this, we got stories of trail rides and equine art. You know, we want to take a moment to thank many of the fine people who have made Speaking of Horses TV possible. King Barnes, custom designed and built to your specs, crafted by experienced craftsmen just for you. Visit King Barnes for your class barn. Revitavet, light therapy products to assist in faster healing of your horse. Use the light pads to warm up muscles before riding. It's innovative, reliable, and you get top results. Revitavet. And a thank you to Just Dump It. Easy and safe handles for your wheelbarrow. Save your back with this dump system. Easy to install and use. Check out Just Dump It. And Hoosier Horse Trailers, crafted and built in northern Indiana. Unique designs and factory-crafted living interiors. Amish craftsmen at their best. That's Hoosier Horse Trailers. Thank you for your support of Speaking of Horses. We know the Cook Forest Ride was held Labor Day weekend, September 3rd to the 7th, 2015, and includes demos that featured Brandy Lions from 3 to 5 daily. Now, if you're watching this before the ride has occurred, you can sign up by getting a hold of the Cook Forest Trail Rides. Anyone wishing to book private clinics or demos can call Brandy Lions at 623-261-6321. Free guide services Friday and Monday, up to 5 nights of camping. Thursday supper, Friday supper, tack auction, Saturday cowboy breakfast and supper, ranch sorting from 7 to 9 p.m. Children 5 years old and under are free with a paid adult. Youth 6 to 10 receive a 50% discount. The youth 11 to 14 receive a 25% discount. Ride the beautiful Cook Forest in northwestern Pennsylvania with the Smiths as your host. Great times, great people, great camping, and great riding. The Cook Forest Scenic Trail Ride. You know, artist Janice Fisher has done some wonderful things. Let's watch this. My guest, Janice Fisher. Now, Janice, you do a lot of things with photographs, artwork. You do all kinds. Let me see your button that you have here. Did you bring,
I didn't bring a button. I'm sorry. I just brought a print, a wood print.
Here's a wooden print. I'm going to hold up here. Now this is your horse, right?
No, that's Lisa Dearson.
That's Lisa.
The Royal Lusitanos horse.
Okay.
And what I did is, this is from my carousel horse series.
Okay.
So what I do is I photograph real horses to depict looking like real carousel horses.
Okay.
And this horse has a perfect arch. We made the costume, the way he reacted and everything was just perfect, what we asked of him.
Okay.
And then I did a little gel transfer onto a wood print and make art, greeting cards, prints, calendars with these images.
Well, here at the Festival of Horse and Drum, your booth is actually right here. This area that you see with this white webbing is actually the back of your booth, so we're actually neighbors here at the
nice.
booth. Now this is Lisa's horse. I'm going to hold this up to this camera.
It's a Lusitano.
Lusitano, Lisa Dearson, who runs the event.
Correct.
And this horse is one of her. It's a Lusitano,
yeah. Yes.
And but it's wonderful. You do some great work. Actually,
thanks. You were looking for a poster.
Well, that's okay. The program for the event has a horse on there that is your horse.
Right. Would you like me to get it? The button?
Yeah, go get the button.
Okay, sorry guys, we're really close. Sorry.
She's close. She'll be right back. Get the button.
Yes, this was a little surprise. I
right.
entered the photo contest here for Festival of Horse and Drum, and that is my horse, Ruby, and we have a Native American Indian Art Shigoni on it, and it won the poster contest, so it's on the program and everything, and it really says a lot about the festival.
Yeah,
horses, Indians, the water, life, living.
Now this picture has, the water in the background and the teepee and kind of an inlet. Where did you take that picture?
Indian Summer last year, up at Summerfest grounds in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay, that's at Summerfest in Milwaukee. Okay.
Right. So Ruby it was the first year they had horses, and Ruby was invited, and we planned the shot. Art was walking around, and I asked if I could take his photo with Ruby, and it was perfect. The teepee was there, the water's there. I mean, what a great shot.
That's fantastic.
Blue sky.
Yeah. So, you do a lot of things. You do the postcards. You do.
Can't help it. It's typical artist, right?
Right. and you are so laid back. You have no energy showing at all, right?
Right.
So, tell us a little bit about the calendars, the posters, the postcards, all the things that you get involved in.
Well, it's kind of like I'm fortunate enough to combine my art with my passion, horses. you know, so I'm able to make a living with it. And I make the greeting cards, artwork for people's walls, whether it be a carousel horse or custom print of the person and their horse. So that's what I just do. I just make little gift items and prints and stuff. It just kind of works.
And we met last year at the Festival of the Horse and Drum, and we also met at the Film Festival in New York.
City. Yeah, we met in New York, and we're neighbors practically.
Yeah, and but these are some really beautiful things. This actually is a live horse made up to be like a carousel horse.
And that horse is perfect. That's a Frisian stallion.
Right.
Falkert. So
it's a real horse, but the trappings, you know, make it look like a carousel horse. So it's really neat. Now, how do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me on my web, janicefisher.com. And Janice is with a C and Fisher is with a C. Or my phone number, 847-736-5826.
Yeah.
But
anyway, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Or come to a horse event. Come to the Festival of the Horse and Drum, or I'll be at Equine Film Festival this year.
Yeah.
Will you be there?
I will be there.
Great. So New York City.
Yeah.
In November.
So, Janice, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Much.
Okay.
It's a pleasure. Hey, the Colt Starting Challenge USA. It's coming to Attica, Indiana. Now, that's in September 25th to the 27th, 2015. Attica is near Lafayette, Indiana. Join us for a great competition with points counting toward the national finals to be held in Las Vegas during the NFR in December of this year. 6 trainers compete for prizes and points to qualify. You can have a great horse weekend with us there, or you can watch. We're going to be streaming it live on speakingofhorses.com for this entire event. You can join us for the Colt Starting Challenge USA. We're also going to be live streaming the finals from Las Vegas. Hey, stay with us. We'll be right back. We want to take a moment to thank many of the fine people that have made Speaking of Horses possible. Source Nutrition, micronutrients for your horse or dog, developed and harvested from the ocean on the Maine coast. Years of research and development for the best supplements available. Source Nutrition. Equessentials, horse conditioning and prep products developed by Dr. Tom Tweeton. Totally safe, improve your horse's coat and health. That's Equessentials. Echo Green Grid. Stop mud and uneven wet ground. Echo Green Grid installs easily to give a great base for footing. Use it in the paddock around the water tank, or use it in the barn. That's Echo Green Grid. And a thank you to Fly Predators. Fly Predators from Spalding Labs. Control flies and fly larvae the easy way. Use Fly Predators and flies will be gone. Thank you to these people who support Speaking of Horses. Well, the Hawaii Horse Expo presents its first Equine Wellness Symposium, September 11th to the 13th, 2015, at the Mauna Lani Bay Hotel and Bungalows. Now, following 2 days of informative symposium workshops with national and local experts presenting on topics centered around the horse and health and conditioning. The fun begins on Saturday afternoon, September 13th, at the Panaloa Hoedown at the historic Polokani Stables in Waimea. The center opens with Panaloa Preservation Society President Pono von Holt and Kahua Kamino Hopala blessing the new wing of the Panaloa Cultural Center in Polokani Stables. The new wing, 4 years and $25,000 in the making, expands the collection of historic photographs on display with special attention to the Panaloa Kapiani cowboys of Hawaii and those of Japanese descent. News about the horse, West Nile virus, has been confirmed in one horse in Catatas County, Washington. The 14-year-old quarter horse gelding did not travel outside of the Catatas County in Washington State. The Department of Health confirmed this is the second confirmed case of West Nile virus in Catatas County, and the first case confirmed since 2008. Now, West Nile is transmitted in horses via bites from infected mosquitoes. Clinical signs for West Nile virus include flu-like signs where the horse seems mildly anorexic and depressed, fine and coarse muscle and skin facilitations, twitching, hypertension, changes in mentality and the way they think or look, when horses look like they are daydreaming or just not with the program, occasional solace or drowsiness, propulsive walking, driving, or working forward at all times, often without control, sometimes a spinal sign including asthmaterical weakness. Some horses show asthmaterical or symmetrical ataxia. Equine mortality rate can be as high as 30 to 40% from West Nile virus. Hey, we'll be right back. Stay with us. We at Speaking of Horses would like to thank some of the people who helped to make Speaking of Horses TV possible. A big thank you to Equine Clot. Equine Clot is a wonderful product. Carry it in your saddlebag, put it in your first aid kit, wrap it on an equine wound. It immediately promotes clotting and is a great first aid tool. Thank you to Equine Clot. And to EquestraSafe, a complete line of equestrian riding products for trail, for arena, for wherever, from reflective vests, reflective headgear, tapes, signage, everything you need to ride safely and to be safe with your horse is available at EquestraSafe.com. Check them out. Thanks to all of the fine people that make Speaking of Horses TV possible. You know, we recently caught up with dressage expert Yvonne Barteau. She's added many things to her resume. Here's our visit from Illinois with Yvonne Barteau. Watch this. And my guest now here at the Festival of the Horse and Drum is Yvonne Barteau. Now, you just did a clinic. You just came back from the clinic.
Yep.
But you have been working in this area in classical riding, dressage, and many things for a lot of years. And give everybody just a brief history of how you got started with this and how you have progressed to where you're at. Just a brief synopsis.
A brief synopsis. Well, I'll tell you the silliest thing first then is I actually thought I invented dressage. So that's already silly since I'm certainly not old enough to have done that. But I was riding, I worked on the racetrack for about 7 years, and then I started working with breaking horses and problem horses and trouble. And then after a time, I thought I had developed a way of riding that was easier for horses. I kept my legs on, and I could feel them with my legs, and I had a great connection, and I thought I had invented this way of riding that wasn't race horses, it wasn't hunter jumpers, and it wasn't Western, which is all I'd been exposed to. And then I was at the feed store, and I picked up this book called The Complete Training of Horse and Rider by Podolsky. So I read the whole book in 24 hours and realized I did not invent dressage. And then I've been a student of it ever since. And so I started at the Arabian Nights Dinner Theater to learn more about dressage because they had horses that knew more than I did there. And so I met my husband Kim there, and we were there together. He was a trainer for 10 years there. I was the director of entertainment operations and the principal trainer. And then we moved on to Illinois, where we started KYB Dressage, which is Kim and Yvonne Barteau.
And you're still doing it today?
Yes, that was 20 years ago. And yes, we're still doing it. We still have the entertainment in there, but we're basically dressage people.
And I think we first met like either around Equitana time or something years ago.
Yep.
And you've been doing a lot of, not only the training now, but you do a lot of specialty shows. You just did one at Briarfest a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that was fun.
A nice evening show, all, wonderful presentations and all entertainment.
Yeah, and it was actually all dressage that turned into entertainment. When you add great music and a costume to a horse and a rider, and it's still dressage, all of a sudden that boring dressage looks so much more interesting, and kids like it. We have the Lion King act that's gotten so popular, where we have two horses, so one horse dressed up as a lion with a rider jungle girl kind of on it. Now we have dancers on the ground and flaming bolos, and so it's turned into quite a production number with really great music, and people love it, and they don't even know they're getting fed dressage.
Well, I love that description, but it's so true. You take you know, it's like a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down.
Exactly, the
You know,
dressage medicine.
you have certain things like, oh man, that dressage that is so methodical, so long, so all of these things, and then you turn around and you put the musical freestyle to it and the costuming,
Yep.
and you turn it into entertainment. And in this day and age, people who attend a lot of these festivals, they used to come to these festivals where you lined up your clinicians and everything was like this trainer and this trainer and this trainer and this trainer and the vendors. And now the people want to go that next step. They're evolving into more and more of the entertainment things.
Yeah.
Like they did a show last night. And you've done a lot of different shows. And, you know, like the Briarfest show that we mentioned. And these other things that you're involved in that after you've been to a few training clinics and this and that and the other, you just want to go in the evening and be relaxed. You've got brains running out your ears from knowledge. Now you just want to sit back and be entertained. And if you're entertained by the same things that you were just educated on or with, it makes a huge difference in how it all perceives in your mind.
Yep. And I'd say, like, one of our new things we did for the first time at Briarfest, Dan James, who you know,
Right.
and we made a routine that incorporated one of his Liberty horses with my Grand Prix dressage stallion. And we had a Liberty horse and a Grand Prix horse working in the ring at the same time. And eventually the Liberty horse joined up with my Grand Prix horse and was working loose with me. And then we have some clips of it, which I'll share with you later. And I think that people didn't even know what they were seeing. They were just entertainment. But they
Right.
were watching two really good crafts
Right.
right at the top of their game. And it was fun. It was just fun. The costuming, the music was great fun.
And the really fun thing about that completely is the people that don't really understand the difficulty of what was going on and how much horsemanship it took to get to that point were still entertained. All right,
Yes.
they thought it was great. The people who appreciated not only the entertainment value but the difficulty or the mastering of the craft or the horsemanship to get to that point, they were just as entertained by it. So, because of the appreciation for what it took to get there. But you covered all the bases that way.
I think so, and I think there were fans of just a loose horse doing fun things, and then also a storyline performance, and then as well to see the dressage and a horse working, you know, at an actual competition stallion working
Right.
in the arena with a costume on with a Liberty horse.
Now, you were talking about you and your husband do the training here. How do people contact you?
KYB Dressage, that's us.
It's that simple.
KYBdressage.com, KYBdressage at AOL.com, that's us.
And you're right here in Northern Illinois.
Yes, we are in Maple Park, Illinois. Yep, easy to find.
It's not very far from St. Charles, right?
Not at all. No,
So-
this is our stomping grounds.
So you're in the West Chicago suburb area, for those of you that aren't familiar with the area. So, you know, they do some great stuff, and it's been a lot of fun to work on and off over the last, dare I say, 20 years.
It has been. I remember you were at the Equitana that I did the bridleless Quebec routine with. And that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Time sneaks up on us, you know.
But you're still the voice of the industry, that's for sure.
Well, I appreciate that.
I can recognize your voice so easily. I hear your voice, I'm like, there's the horse fair guy.
It drives my wife nuts because we will be somewhere. We were actually buying a TV at a Best Buy in Janesville, Wisconsin. And I went over to look at something else, and my wife comes back and she goes, "Darn you." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "The gal selling the TV said, I didn't want to say anything while he was here, but doesn't your husband announce in Madison, Wisconsin?"
And yes, he
And
does.
she goes, "Yes." She goes, I knew that voice. Same thing, you know, and it's like, and it just drives her nuts, but that's okay, because I'm always, the fact that we're on TV, forget that. I always say I have a face built for radio. Okay? So we're fine. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. We're here at the Festival of the Horse and Drum in St. Charles. But KYB Dressage.
KYB Dressage.
And
That's me.
get a hold of Yvonne or your husband Kim. You will not be disappointed in any and all of this that's happening. Lisa
Yes.
just walked by
There
the
she
way.
is. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. I'll be in New York as well.
Oh, you're going to be in New York?
Yes,
are
I
you?
will.
Oh,
Yep,
cool.
yep, great.
Yeah, we're going to get something in that Equine Film Festival, I believe she's got going on
Yep,
there.
I've
so-
got a show I'm going to be submitting on a Frisian farm.
Oh, great.
And this Frisian farm in Vermont that we just filmed at in the 4th of July, they do their own artificial insemination, their own embryo transplants. They do everything right
there.
That's pretty
And we
good.
actually filmed the birth of a beautiful Frisian filly out of a thoroughbred mare. And it looks weird to see that newborn filly coming out of a thoroughbred mare that's basically brown, but the whole show is pretty interesting in how they do their own ultrasounding there, all right on the farm. And it's nice to go to a place in the United States where you're on a mountain or a hilltop in Vermont. You have no cell phone reception, no internet reception. And the little town had no restaurant. I mean, you are like, if you didn't get it at the B&B that morning to eat, you didn't get it.
You don't get it.
You don't
Wow,
get
that
it.
sounds like a good place.
It was a neat place.
Oh, yeah, I might wanna
Frisians
go
of
there.
Majesty.
Frisians of Majesty.
Yeah,
that
it's
might be
neat.
something fun too.
So we're going to have a show on that we'll be having in New York as well.
that would be great. Good
Mom,
to see you.
thank
again.
you very,
Yeah.
very much.
Good.
Well, that's our September report. I'm your host, Wayne Williams. See you in October, or we'll see you down the trail.